So let me ask you this. I know that you're really well known for the the porridges and sea mosses that you do. What would you say is that essential part of the things that we should be putting within our temple?
Well, you are what you eat, so within, so without. We are here as physical beings. The spirit dwells within us. So it is crucially important to nurture and feed the flesh, the physical, because this is the home where, not the house, the home where the spirit dwells. So you have to feed your soul. You feed your soul spiritually, and you feed your body physically. So it is definitely important to feed yourself with foods that have nutrients that nurture the brain, the liver, the kidney. We have to nurture the flesh because we're here right now in this dispensation with living in the flesh, existing. We as humans think that we're human beings having a spiritual experience, when in fact we're spiritual beings having a human experience. So to that I say experience well. So it is crucially important to take care of the flesh, of the physical. So while the spirit is moving through and dwelling, you have a good space, nurture, and of course, the earth. Eating from the earth is where all of the, when you look at, for instance, the trees, it's coming from the earth. Look how strong the trees are and how tall they are. We should look at life and look generally, just look around us. You see how big the cow is? The cow them huge, and all they eat is grass. So we have to look around us in nature because we are of the earth, and we are nature. So I strongly not feel, I know that this is how we should be eating. So from the sea, we don't have no problems. Everything have every single nutrients. We don't need no supplements. We don't need no pill. The sea full of chlorophyll and iodine and magnesium, and we're yeah.
Cool. So let me ask you this. What do you think is the difference between the male and the female, body as far as the way to go about healing?
So yes, there's a difference. The 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 male, the king, is magnificently created, divinely created, different from the queen, the female. We function different. The king grow hairs in different places, grow muscle in different places. We don't. There's hormones. There's a whole reproductive system. So yes, there are different herbs that are specifically like for the prostate. There's the different. If we don't function the same way, so yes, there's different herbs. And remember now, there's 1,000,001 roads that lead to the same highway. There's thousands and thousands and thousands of herbs for one thing, for the same thing. So it depends on the region, the climate, where that male or that female is. But absolutely, there's different herbs. Like for instance, I make a prostate support, and that is for the king. I don't. There's no prostate support for the woman, the queen, because we don't have prostate. So absolutely, there's different approaches, spiritually, mentally, and physically. There's a different approach towards man, towards woman, totally.
Could see there's definitely a big shift within humans, especially being one that of hormonal imbalance. What would you say, would be a main reason behind hormonal imbalance within men and women, and what can one do to guard the temple from hormonal imbalance?
I have to say spirituality. Spirituality is key. I have to say that there's nothing else to say. We as humans, we have to protect ourselves. We have to protect our energy. We have to protect the entrance to our bodies and the entrance to our souls. We have to meditate. We have to, one would say ground, I would say earth. Because when you ground, it's most often referred to, grounding is more, what I've learned, my understanding is that when you ground, you're really grounding electrically. You're grounding wire through buildings. You ever notice that when you have a house in South Florida, if the house is not grounded and say lightning strike, it lick out everything in the house. But there's always, all of these structures are built with a grounded pole. And I found that out personally because when I first moved into my house, um, lightning struck and it tear off the garage door. And then I had to have the house grounded. There's a pole where when the lightning strike, it goes down into the ground. I call that grounding. Earthing is when we as humans connect with the earth. That is protection, that is healing, and also meditation, using different minerals, being aware of your thoughts. That has a lot to do with your entire body, because if you could get up and and then you could get up and, that's two different. That can make you very sick. It can affect your liver. It's called fright and flight. You can make yourself really sick by not having your spirit in the right place, not spiritually grounded. So, as it relates to man versus woman, you have to ground, you have you have to meditate, you have to be mindful of your thoughts. These things literally affect your organs, it affects your hormones, it affects everything. The food you eat affects your body or your hormones. So I would definitely start with the spiritual, because when you're actually in the physical, you feed the physical the right food, the right nutrients for your hormones, for your organs. But the spiritual, to me, is key. That's where it all begins.